Hello and welcome into this week's NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from R&N. On today's Trucks Rewind, we're looking back at Friday night's 23rd Annual Speedy Cash 400, 167 laps, 250.5 miles, around the 1.5 mile Texas Motor Speedway, Fort Worth, Texas. 13 caution flags in this race for a total of 63 laps. Fairly chaotic race. First one came at lap number 12 as the 12 of Gus Dean found the wall in the backstretch. Lap number 22, the 45 of Kyle Benjamin wrecked in turn 1. Lap 29, the 9 of Cody Robaugh spun on the backstretch, found the wall. Lap number 35, the 44 of Angelo Ruck wrecked in turn 2. That brought out a 1 minute 16 second red flag. Stage 1 concluded at lap number 40. Your Stage 1 winner would be Johnny Sauter. Lap 58, the 13 of Johnny Sauter and the 16 of Austin Hill got together in turn 4. So the highs and lows very quickly in one race for Johnny Sauter. Wins a stage and then very quickly caught up in an accident shortly thereafter. Lap number 65, the 04 of Corey Roper, wrecked in turn 2. Lap number 70, the 4 of Todd Gilliland, got in an accident in turn number 2. Lap number 81, 3 of Jordan Anderson spun in turn 2, and that would be the end of Stage 2. Your Stage 2 winner would be Ben Rhodes. So far, we've had all Thor Sport on the night. Johnny Sauter winning the first stage, Ben Rhodes winning the second stage. Lap 91, the 02 of Tyler Dipple wrecks in turn 2. Lap number 97, multi-car wreck on the backstretch between Corey Roper, the 14 of Trey Hutchins, the 18 of Harrison Burton, the 20 of Spencer Boyd, the 54 of Natalie Decker, and the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Lap 109, the 52 of Stuart Friesen got loose, racing for the lead with Greg Biffle, and spins into the wall in turn 2. Final caution of the night, lap 154, as the 22 of Austin Wayne self-stalled in turn 2. 12 lead changes among 9 drivers. 44 laps went to Grant Enfinger. That was the most on the night. 34 laps were led by Austin Hill. 20 laps were led by Ben Rhodes. 31 laps were led by Todd Gilliland. So we flip-flop those two there for a second. 18 laps went to Greg Biffle in his return to the trucks. 9 laps were led by Tyler Ankrum. Some of these lines don't really match up here. Lap number 5 laps went to Sheldon Creed. I am all over the place today. I do apologize for that. And 3 laps apiece went to Anthony Alfredo and Johnny Sauter. All right, on to your results. Johnny Sauter won the first stage, but then he wrecked in Stage 2. Ben Rhodes won the second stage, but then he wrecked in Stage 3. Grant Enfinger led the most laps on the night. There's a theme here. It's all Thor Sport. So did Thor Sport come home with the victory from Texas? No, they didn't. It was the veteran Greg Biffle in his return. He had not run a truck race since 2004. Hadn't run a NASCAR race of any sort since, 2016? I believe 2016 was his last year in Cup. Hasn't won a truck race since 2001. And he takes home the victory from Texas. A fantastic run out of Greg Biffle in that 51 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Had to hold off a hard-charging Matt Crafton at the end of the race. So it was almost a Thor Sport night. But Matt Crafton not quite able to get it done at the end over Greg Biffle. Had to settle for second. A great run for Tyler Ankrum in third. Grant Enfinger came home in fourth. And Harrison Burton rounds out the top 5 to put 2 KBM trucks in the top 5. Rest of your top 10, Sheldon Creed in 6th, Brendan Poole 7th, Austin Hill, Corey Roper, and Ross Chastain. Of course, it was widely noted this week that he has switched to Truck Series points. 38 points on the night for him there in the 10th position. So he's already a third of the way to getting into the top 20 in one race. So I don't think top 20 should be an issue for Ross Chastain. The win may be the issue, so we'll see going forward if he's able to win a race and get into the Truck Series playoffs. 11th through 20th, Brett Moffitt came home in the 11th position. Anthony Alfredo had a great night run going until he spun there late, which did not bring out a caution. He ended up one lap down in the 12th position. Johnny Sauter came home in 13th. Jordan Anderson had a great run going as well before he spun, was actually running for the lead there in the mid portions of the race, but he had to settle for the 15th position. Stuart Breezen, after his accident, racing for the lead as well, he came home in the 20th position. 21st through 30th, Ben Rhodes came home in 21st, Natalie Decker 22nd, Tyler Dipple 25th, Todd Gilliland in 27th, and Cody Robaugh down here in the 30th position. Final page, 31st and 32nd, Kyle Benjamin and Gus Dean. All right, that's your results from Texas now. It's been a long time since we've been able to say this, but let's head over to the Media Center and we will see what Greg Biffle and his team had to say after this surprise victory from Texas.
I mean, it feels really good to be able to come back and drive a good, fast truck. And, you know, I learned a tremendous amount tonight. I wasn't sure the first part of this thing. You know, it went green, and I felt really good about the speed of our truck. And then the second and third run, I didn't feel like I was, you know, figuring out how to get around these guys. We ended up getting the lead, and then the guys drafted right by me. So I knew I had my work cut out for me to figure out the draft of these trucks and what they drive like. And, you know, they made it easy for me. They gave me a really good truck. Pit stops were phenomenal. And, you know, we worked really good in practice, you know, three practice sessions to get the thing driving the way it felt good to me. We worked really well together, so it was a great opportunity for me. I'm so happy to be able to come back and run that well.
Yeah, I mean, KBM so far, what a year. I mean, obviously, Kyle's in the headlines for a lot of things about what he says, but if you really look at things, we've got 6 out of 9 wins, and then the 3 of the places we didn't win, one was Daytona, which is what it is, and Dover and Kansas, we got a 3rd place finish out of some of our other guys. So yeah, we got to get going a little bit better, more consistent with the other 2, but Harrison fought and finished 5th tonight, so definitely try to get these trucks better so that they're easier for everybody to drive. But you know, the communication, crew chief, engineer, driver, kind of will keep working on that with everybody to get where we're able to achieve. Us two were working together, and Kyle got involved, got on the phone with both of us, and we were able to make really good decisions.
All right, so let's take a look at your current playoff grid leaving Texas before we wrap up here tonight. A little bit of moving here. Matt Crafton up a couple of spots to 3rd now of the drivers that are in on points. Technically, right now, he is 5th on the playoff grid with Johnny Sauter and Austin Hill up there with their wins. He has displaced Brett Moffitt and Ben Rhodes each down a spot, and then Harrison Burton has now moved back into a playoff position over his teammate Todd Gilliland. 26 points is the gap there at the cutoff line, so Gilliland kind of digging himself a bit of a hole here. Not insurmountable, but he can't afford too many more bad runs if he's already got a deficit like that with 7 races left before the playoffs. And then with the fire Kyle Busch has been trying to light under Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland to get them to run better, he's probably going to need a win to get into the playoffs. So we will see moving forward how that works here. And that'll be the interesting thing too, because really they are the 2 running for that last position in the playoffs right now. Teammates Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland. I think only one of those, at this rate, one of those 2 is going to make it into the playoffs, and one is going to be left out unless they can both win a race before the playoffs. So that'll be very interesting to watch here going forward as to which of these 2 get into the playoffs. I think at least one of them gets in, but do they both get in? That is the question here going forward, as we have 7 races now remaining until the Truck Series playoffs begin. But that's your playoff grid following the 2nd Texas race of the season for the trucks. And I believe that'll do it for us on this Trucks Rewind. ARCA Rewind went up just a little bit ago as well to talk about their race from Michigan on Friday, as well as a winner interview with Michael Self. Xfinity Rewind coming up sometime this evening, probably late, since we have our live 250 subscriber Q&A coming up this evening at 8 o'clock. So definitely join us for that and ask us some questions tonight and just come hang out with us. So, and then, of course, a Cup Rewind coming up tomorrow evening as well to talk about their race from Michigan. And I think that's everything for this weekend, unless I'm forgetting something. So, if you haven't done it already, you need to go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. While you're down there, why don't you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do. But at that, this has been the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.